I know I'm not.
When I was a kid, I wanted to write books. So, I feel like I'm on my way, or I've started at least. Yeah.
Hardcover, paperback, or ebook? What is your favorite form of book?
I like a paperback. Like, I like to kind of maul a paperback. I even like it when they get kind of like mottled and wet from the bathtub. I like them to be a little lived in. So yeah, I like a paperback.
Yeah, something that you can put in your back pocket.
Yeah.
Take it out and the cover's like all falling off, and it's it looks like it's been well loved and well read. If you were shipwrecked on a deserted island and could have only one book to read again and again, what would it be?
This is really hard, but I think maybe I would go with The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann, because it's really long. You get a lot of mileage out of it. It kind of needs rereading. And I feel like I could also just kind of like pretend I was also like in the sanatorium. They're sort of in a world apart too. Maybe.
All right, let's see. What kind of atmosphere is most productive for you as a writer? Do you like quiet? Do you like music? Do you have to have background, kind of a hubbub happening in the background?
Yeah, no, I need silence. Not like absolute silence, but no music, no hubbub. I need quiet. Yeah.
You're a non-hubbubber. I know that's not a word. Okay. Fiction or nonfiction?
If I have to choose, then fiction. I'm a fiction person.
There was people refusing to choose. They were just like being really, I'm not. Well, I really like nonfiction, but sometimes I like a fiction. And then, no, you have to choose. Romance or thrillers?
I admittedly haven't read much of either, but I have read some thrillers. So maybe them. Although I can't read anything that'll give me bad dreams too late in the day. So
checking in your back seat of your car before you get in. Pen, pencil, or computer screen? How do you get your words down?
I often start with like pen and paper and take notes that way, but anything like drafting, anything a bit longer, I go to the computer so I can move stuff around more easily.
If you could go back in time, what late author would you want to have a cup of tea with?
Yeah, this one is also hard in part because I sort of feel like I really love a lot of books and I wouldn't necessarily want to hang out with the people that wrote them. But I did think maybe Grace Paley. That's not too far back in time, but I'd go back to the 70s and sit at her kitchen table maybe.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Mine would be Mark Twain. I totally would like to hang out with him. If you could be any Newfoundland animal, either native or introduced, what would it be?
Yeah, I like this one. I think I was thinking about like river otters. I like being in the water. They seem like they have a good time. I'm going with that.
They're a happy animal.
Yeah.
And they're so cute. And they're always holding hands.
Yeah.
I just love, like you see the little pictures where they're floating around and
they're hanging out with each other.
You guys are so cute. So last question. What is the best time of day for you to write?
Really early morning. That's when I've got the most steam. Also, coincidentally, when it's easiest to find the quiet. So it really works out on my preferred conditions.
Thank you so much for answering all my weird and intrusive questions. And, we're hoping that these few weird and intrusive questions will help our readers get to know you a little bit better.
Great. Well, it was my pleasure. Thank you. They weren't intrusive at all. They were fun.
Oh, thank you. Good luck for NL Reads 2022, Amiee. To our viewers, I hope you all enjoyed our 10 quick questions. Please head over.
It's Miss Natasha. I'm so excited to be here with you today for story time. I've got a really fun story time, and I've got some friends that are going to help me out today. In fact, they're right over there behind my shoulder. Can you see? Can you tell what they are? They're my 5 monster friends. That's right. We'll get to them in just a bit, but let's go ahead and get ready for story time. singing my favorite song. If you've watched my other videos, you know it too. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's go ahead and get ready to say hello. Take out your bread, get your butter, your marmalade or jam, and let's get ready. Good job. Here we go. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as fast as we can. Hello. Oh, that was so fast. Good job. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as squeaky as we can. Hello. Pretty squeaky. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as monstrous as we can. Hello. A bit ghoulish, maybe not so monstrous. Anyways, doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and get started. Today's story is Leonardo the Terrible Monster. Oh, but he's not so terrible. Don't worry. No need to be scared. This is by Mo Willems. He is our author and illustrator, and one of my favorites. I bet you've read some of his books too. Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus. That's the same author. Don't you love the pigeon? Everybody loves the pigeon. Anyways, this is published by Hyperion Books for children. Again, Leonardo the Terrible Monster by Mo Willems. Let's get ready. Leonardo was a terrible monster. He's looking a little... Can you see that? How's he looking? Yeah, a little sad. A little down in the dumps. He couldn't scare anyone. He didn't have 1,642 teeth like Tony the monster. Tony's huge. Lots of teeth. Must take a long time to brush. He wasn't big like Eleanor. Wow. Eleanor is really big. And he wasn't just plain weird like Hector. Leonardo tried very hard to be scary, but he just wasn't. He's pretty upset about that. Pretty sad. But he keeps trying. One day, Leonardo had an idea. He would find the most scaredy cat kid in the whole world and scare that tuna salad out of him. Yes, that's a great idea. So let's see who he finds. Leonardo researched until he found the perfect candidate, a perfect scaredy cat kid. A lot of books, lots of research to find the perfect candidate. I bet he went to the library to do his research. Sam. This is the perfect candidate. Leonardo snuck up on the poor, unsuspecting boy. And the monster gave it all he had. He certainly tried. He roared and grrred. Until the little boy cried. Yes, cheered Leonardo. I did it! I finally scared that tuna salad out of someone! Oh, I can't believe it. No, you didn't, snapped Sam. Oh, yeah? Replied Leonardo. Then why are you crying? My mean big brother stole my action figure right out of my hands while I was still playing with it, and then he broke it on purpose, and it was my favorite toy, and I tried to fix it, but I couldn't, and I got so mad I kicked the table, and I stubbed my toe on the same foot that I hurt last month when I accidentally slipped in the bathtub after I got soap in my eyes trying to wash out the bird poop that my brother's cockatoo pooped on my head, and I don't have any friends and my tummy hurts. Oh, poor Sam. Tough. He's had it rough. He has had it rough. That's why I'm crying. And then Leonardo made a very big decision. Think for a second. What do you think that big decision that he made is? It's okay. Instead of being a terrible monster, he would become a wonderful friend. Oh, that gives me warm, fuzzy feeling inside. Makes my heart happy. Now they're holding hands. They're friends. It's great to have a friend. But that didn't mean that he couldn't try to scare his friend every now and then. Woo! Made Sam jump. The end. What an awesome story. Don't you just love Mo Willems? He just knows how to write and illustrate. He's super talented. Leonardo, the Terrible Monster. So let's introduce my little monster friends behind me here. Let's see how many I have. I've got 1, 2, 3. What's next? 4, 5. Very good. And they're all different colors. Some of them have a little bit of a mix to them, actually. This is a little blue-green. He's a bluish hue. We've got some greens and yellows in this one. What about this one? What color is that one? That's right. A bit orange. And then this little guy is, yeah, he's reddish. So these are our 5 little monsters, and they're hairy. 5 hairy monsters is what we'll sing about today. You ready? All right. 5 hairy monsters howling out a roar. One ran away, and then there were 4. Very good. 4 hairy monsters hiding in a tree. One fell out, and then there were 3. 3 hairy monsters eating spider stew. Ooh, yuck. One got full, and then there were 2. Very good. 2 hairy monsters having lots of fun. One ran off, and then there was just 1. 1 hairy monster afraid to be the hero. He ran off. And then there were 0. That's it. All the hairy monsters gone. Good job. I hope you enjoyed that story time. We're going to go ahead and end it here with, again, one of my favorite songs. But you know what? Before we go, I want to show you some other books that have monsters in them in case you want to check them out at the library. This one's called Boo Hoo by Ben Clanton. And then we've got this, one of my favorites actually too, Love Monster. This is by Rachel Bright. I love a good monster story. And then we've got This Monster Cannot Wait. And this is by Bethany Barton. So check out your local library for some great monster books. Let's get ready to say goodbye. Go ahead and get out your bread, your butter, marmalade, or jam. And let's go. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as slowly as we can. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as, loud as we can. Goodbye! Did you wake everybody up in the house? Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as nicely as we can. Goodbye. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.
Hi friends, it's Miss Tracy here with AC Hunter Children's Library. Thank you for joining me for today's Look Bit. Today, we will do a rhyme together, but not just any rhyme. It's a rhyme about my very favorite season. We have 4 seasons. Can you name the 4 seasons? We have spring, summer, fall, and winter. So let's do our rhyme together and see if you can guess which season is my favorite. Are you ready? Let's go. Leaves are falling, leaves are falling. One fell on my nose. Leaves are falling, leaves are falling. One fell on my toes. Leaves are falling, leaves are falling. One fell on my head. Leaves are falling, leaves are falling. Orange, brown, and red. Can you guess which season this rhyme is about? That's right, you guessed right. It is about fall, and fall is my favorite time of year. Do you have leaves falling from trees around your home? I know I do. This morning, I found these. They're not green anymore, and when the leaves change color, you know it's fall. So let's try our rhyme again, shall we? This time, we can do some actions. When we're talking about the leaves falling, we'll just do this, because that's kind of how the leaves fall from the trees. Ready? Let's go. Leaves are falling, leaves are falling. One fell on my nose. Leaves are falling, leaves are falling. One fell on my toes. Leaves are falling, leaves are falling. One fell on my head. Leaves are falling, leaves are falling. Orange, brown, and red. Well done. So the next time you look outside your window or go outside, check to see if there are any leaves on the ground around your home. See if they change color. Thanks for joining me. Hope to see you next time. Bye.
My name's Ainsley Hawthorn. I'm an author and cultural historian in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador, and I'm the reader advocate for the December 2021 selection for NL Reads All I Ask by Eva Crocker. All I Ask follows a young woman named Stacy in St. John's who awakens one morning to a pounding on her door. When she goes down in her pajamas to answer, she finds a horde of police officers outside who barge in saying that they have a warrant to find illegal digital material, which is never actually defined in the book. They confiscate all of her electronics as well as her roommates and leaving Stacy herself in kind of a state of confusion and violation. You might think that that is the setup for a thriller, a book about this invasion, what the cause was, who might have been the original culprit of the crime that the police are allegedly investigating. But in fact, the book is about Stacy's psychological response to this invasion of her personal space. As you read through the novel, it flashes back to different periods in Stacy's past, sexual experiences from her youth, interactions with her friends, everything that has led her to this point in her life when she has this really unusual experience that shakes her and her sense of safety and privacy. The book explores a number of themes that I think people will find really relevant. The most prominent of them is instability. It is set more or less in the present day. It takes place, I believe, in December 2017, and it explores the economic and political instability in our province that's caused by Muskrat Falls. That's an undercurrent that runs throughout the book. It also looks at personal transience, the idea that a young person's life today is much less predictable than it used to be. Education no longer leads reliably to employment. Many people in their 20s and 30s are renting properties. They don't own properties. They're moving from house to house as circumstances change. It also looks at transience in personal relationships. And finally, the book explores uncertainty at the personal level, uncertainty of self. So Stacy is always second guessing her interactions with other people. She is never sure that she has done the right thing. She's hypocritical and not always a sympathetic character. She wants more from her friends, but at the same time, she treats them unkindly, thoughtlessly, at times cruelly. So it's also, it's sort of exploring these themes of uncertainty at many different levels. It also focuses very much on privacy, which is something I think many of us have on our minds all the time today. It examines the many ways in which we are observed throughout our days. So Stacy not just has this encounter with the police where they are invading her space, looking through her things, going through her hard drive and seeing this personal information about her. It makes her more aware of all the ways in which we're seen throughout the day. It makes her more aware of the neighbors across the street that are watching her, of a drone that she sees flying overhead as she's walking down the street, of social media and the interactions that she has had in the past online. All of those ways that we sort of share our personal information, or that our personal information is taken from us without our consent. And lastly, the book looks at abuse of power, abuse of the power of the state. Colonialism is a subtle theme. All of that asks the question, what do we sacrifice to live in a society with other people? What do we as an individual have a right to make decisions about and disclose about ourselves versus what do we owe to our friends, to our neighbors, and to the people around us? It's written in a straightforward and unvarnished style that will make it accessible for many readers. Even though it's set in St. John's and has many touchstones that will be recognized by people in this metro area, it doesn't rely on those. It doesn't lean on those. So you can easily read the book not knowing any of the locations or institutions that it's referring to and still fully enjoy it. It's also about young people, and I think will have many relatable features for people in their 20s and 30s, but will reveal a lot to people in different age groups who are reading the book about young people in their lives, about the differences from their experiences at the same age, and also about the precarities in their own lives, because I think people at any age can and are experiencing various types of economic, educational, and personal precarities. It's an award-winning book. It won the BMO Winterset Award, one of the most prestigious prizes in the province, and was longlisted for the Giller Prize, which is absolutely one of Canada's most prestigious literary awards. So ultimately, I would say that the conclusion the book comes to, without giving anything away, is optimistic. It asks the question, how do we live a life that is always going to be shaped by circumstances outside our control? How do we come to grips with the fact that we will always be in a relationship with other people, with a society, and in our modern context, with a state? How can we live authentically, meaningfully, and honestly in that context? And I think our character, Stacy, reaches a point where she hasn't resolved everything. Her life is not radically changed. She doesn't reach some point of stability, but she has a way to move forward. So that is our December 2021 selection. All I ask, Eva Crocker, I hope I've given you some reasons to pick it up. You can get it from any of our local libraries, and an unlimited number of electronic copies are available through NLPL so that you can read it at any time. I hope you enjoy it.
This program is brought to you by OHL Action Pack. Looking to see tomorrow's stars today? Follow the